All right. All right. Hi, everyone. So my name's Amanda Okray, and I'm going to talk to you about my report on how to increase worker satisfaction in the food industry. So my purpose for this report was to discover why some food workers are unhappy, making them leave the food industry, analyze the data I collected to form some recommendations, and then offer ideas to improve worker satisfaction to ultimately decrease turnover. So right now the turnover rate is really high. It's around 144%, which is up from the usual about 130% that restaurants typically hang around for their average turnover. Obviously, that is a pretty high rate in general, but since the pandemic, the turnover rate has just kind of shot up. So obviously, workers are really unhappy right now, and I wanted to find out why. So I conducted a survey to poll former food workers about what makes them happy or unhappy at work. I asked them things like how are important are coworker relationships, how happy were you overall with your job in the food industry, and what kind of factors were most important to you, whether it be like managers, money, benefits. Then I also looked through journals and articles to find statistics and complaints and different data about what other companies are doing to maintain and grow their staff. Um, so what I found was a lot of like the workers were dissatisfied recently from October of 2021 to February, or from February of 2020 to October of 2021. There were 800,000 less workers. So that was obviously when the pandemic kind of started and everything kind of shut down. So we lost a lot of workers throughout that like year and a half time. So with that loss of workers, that has affected the rest of the workers that did kind of stay on. A lot of them are unhappy with their work-life balance, making up for like the loss of all the workers. Low pay, ultimately, during the pandemic, you might have had to decide, is minimum wage worth going in, risking my safety, or is it better just to jump on unemployment or look for another job that I can maybe work from home? Also, poor management was a big reason that the workers were found to be unhappy with their job.
Amanda? Hey, Amanda? Can you hear me, Cassidy?
Many people, you didn't feel like anyone was taking your safety seriously, which caused a lot of people to want to leave. So some companies are offering hiring bonuses to try to get workers in. I've seen signs, say up to like $1,000 if you work a couple months. That's really to try to get more people in the door with the loss of workers. Offering higher wages in general. I'm not really sure what minimum wage is now. I know it's like pushed up to like maybe 15 soonish. So people, you see signs all the time hiring 16, 17. I think even Target might have had like $20 an hour. So people are really offering higher competitive wages to try to get workers in the door. And then job growth opportunities were found to be really important. It's something I didn't really think about too much until I was discussing my report with someone. Then I looked into it a little more and I found that job growth opportunities are important both for the worker and the company. Managers have said that when they hire employees who want to work at the company in the long run, to grow with the company, they tend to be better workers overall. They're more engaged, more loyal, more helpful all around. So that is better for everyone. So how to increase satisfaction? I did a survey, and one of the top things that stood out to me was that more money and the better work-life balance were pretty equally important, both at 26.7%. That shows that money is definitely important, but having the time to spend your money, spend time with your family, that's really important too. You can't slack on that as like a manager or owner of a company. You have to give your employees time off, time to decompose. And then better managers was also one of the top reasons the people found that they were leaving their jobs. They didn't like their managers. So having better managers could have kept people from leaving. The managers have a big impact on how we react in our day-to-day lives. So I can understand why having a bad manager would make you want to leave. So the role of managers being as important as it is, it was found that 58% of managers have not received management training in the food industry, which is really bad because managers, I found, they affect overall morale and motivation. If you come into your job and your manager is really happy and really excited to be there, you kind of want to be there. You feed off of them. If they're really depressed and unhappy and angry, you're also going to be like, oh, I don't want to be here either. So it's definitely better to have managers that are positive and keep their workers engaged. I found that managers should be leaders who offer support, communication, and guide employees along their career path. So not just focus on themselves, but really on how to foster their employees' growth, keep them happy, keep them from leaving. So it really is more about more than just money. Employees, hiring new employees can cost up to 40% of a base salary to train new employees. So it's really important to retain the ones you have, not only for how expensive it can be to train them, but then also how long it takes to train them. It can take up to like 12 weeks, I read, for employees to be fully functional in their positions. So that's a really long time and really expensive. So it'd just be better overall if companies focused on keeping their employees happy, trying to maintain the good workers they have. And then communication was important as well. So surveys with your employees, reviews, conferences, really communicating with them in the best ways to make them happy, to make sure everyone's happy, they understand what they're doing, and they're satisfied with their job. So the recommendations I can offer are to offer competitive wages and hiring bonuses as initial incentives, just to get them in the door, make them excited about working for you. Offer bonuses and ways for current employees to earn more. Don't just forget about your old staff. They're important. Make sure to offer ways for them to, get a little bit more, get ahead. Definitely train managers properly in leading, motivating, and communicating, making sure they understand the importance of the role. A manager isn't just a good worker. They should be trained in other skills as well. Keep work-life balance fair. I know with less workers, it's definitely harder. You got to fill in those hours, but you can't take advantage of your good workers or you'll lose them. Make sure they have time off. Make sure they're not working, ridiculous shifts. And then communicate with employees about their wants and needs. What's making them happy? What are they lacking? What would they like more out of their job? And really just stay on the same page with them. So if successful, you can evaluate success by checking the turnover rates. If your rates have declined, say over a month period, maybe 2 months, then you can see that the things you've been doing are successful. And your hiring rate will increase. If you're hiring more people, then obviously what you're doing to get them there is working. So along with the evaluating is communicating. So the initial surveys to understand how your employees feel, to kind of gauge them. Begin instituting new programs to increase their satisfaction. So maybe bonuses, maybe different ways, like different reviews. They might appreciate that. One-on-one is really important so they can feel heard and kind of a little bit of privacy. And then offer final surveys to see if their satisfaction has increased since the initial survey. Find which programs work for specific businesses and continue. If you found that something is really great and everyone seems to like it, keep it. If it's something that doesn't really seem to have a big effect, then we consider not doing it anymore. So to wrap it all up, effective communication along with monetary benefits and incentives, good management, and fair working hours are essential to employee satisfaction. The end. Thank you.